And finally, the United Kingdom is facing unprecedented flash floods after parts of England and Wales received a month's worth of rain in just 24 hours. The deluge brought chaos, which turned roads into rivers, causing travel delays and property damage. Emergency services were stretched thin as the London Fire Brigade scrambled to respond to over 300 flood-related emergencies. Here's more on the unprecedented flooding.
The UK is no stranger to sudden downpours, where the weather can switch from a pleasant afternoon to a soggy mess in the blink of an eye. Yesterday, however, parts of England and Wales witnessed a deluge so intense that a whole month's worth of rainfall fell within just 24 hours. This relentless rainfall brought flash floods, wreaking havoc on transport systems and leaving a trail of damaged properties in its wake. In London, roads turned into canals, and some train lines were forced to shut down. Meanwhile, hundreds of residents found themselves stranded in their own homes as the water levels rose.
I'm not angry, I'm stupefied at the inability to actually look at cost-effective solutions. We're not saying do an expensive job, do a job which is worth doing.
Clearly last night there was a hell of a rainfall and the river started rising. When I got up this morning, the back garden was partially flooded. Now it's completely flooded. And it must be under about 8 or 9 inches of water. It's never been this bad since we've lived here in 2013.
Over in England's Leighton Buzzard, Oxfordshire and Bedfordshire, the streets morphed into roaring rivers, with locals remarking that they hadn't seen such severe flooding in over a decade. In places like Luton, Dunstable and Woburn, thunderstorms piled on the misery. Authorities did not waste any time issuing more than 20 flood warnings for areas like Leighton Buzzard, Luton and parts of London. In addition, over 80 flood alerts were dispatched, suggesting that the downpour might just be a preview of what's to come. These warnings steadily increased throughout the day as conditions worsened. The London Fire Brigade was overwhelmed with over 300 flood-related emergency calls. The teams sprang to action, rescuing those trapped in submerged cars and homes. Their efforts extended underground too, as commuters stuck in tube stations desperately needed assistance. Schools and businesses in Bedfordshire and Oxfordshire also closed their doors. Some had to bring back their remote learning setups, much like the pandemic days, to continue their work. But the floods weren't the only thing making headlines. AFC Wimbledon's Carabao Cup clash with Newcastle United was called off after a giant sinkhole appeared on the pitch, leaving the stadium out of action and the match's future date undecided. A yellow warning remains in effect across England and southeast Wales, cautioning that heavy rainfall could bring more floods, power cuts and travel chaos. The Met Office has forecasted continued downpours in southern and central parts of the country this week. By Wednesday, another spell of prolonged rain is predicted to drench England and Wales, followed by an icy blast from the Arctic, which would lower temperatures across the UK by the end of the week, as Britons grapple with the rapid realities of climate change and its impact.